You want to win absolute total victory in your business and in your life? Forget conventional wisdom. If you want conventional results, you just follow conventional wisdom. But you want to win big, you got to think different, you got to play different. Pros and amateurs do not show up the same way. They do not train the same way. They do not think the same way. And they do not win the same way. So you got to make a decision today. Are you here? Are you in this place to win a championship? Or just get a few more deals? Are you going to show up as a pro? Ray Landry, are you going to show up as a pro or as an amateur? Leah Slauson, good to see you. What's up, Megan from Toronto? If you guys are here to show up as pros, give me a thumbs up in the camera, thumbs up all the way in the camera. Give me a thumbs up here in the room if you guys are here to play as pros, not amateurs. Yes, what's your name?
Jennifer.
Jennifer, do we have a catch box mic? Let's get it to Jennifer. Good morning, Jennifer.
Good morning.
Glad you are here. Jennifer, if you'll stand up. Welcome. I've got to do two things here at one time.
Am I going to be scolded?
Jennifer, tell everybody your name, where you're from.
I'm Jennifer Jeffcoat. I'm from Orlando, Florida.
From Orlando, Florida. What time did your flight land?
Well,
What time did your flight land? Just a simple question.
12:22
This morning?
yesterday.
Like after midnight or 12:22 yesterday afternoon?
PM.
Yesterday afternoon?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And what time did the training start this morning?
8 a.m.
8 a.m. What time did you walk in the door?
8:06.
8:06. Okay. Now, tell me your name again. You don't have a name tag on.
I'm Jennifer.
Jennifer. So Jennifer, I love you.
I know.
I care about you. So are you okay if I coach you like I would coach pro?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So guys, this is how we're going to coach. This is how we're going to train. Jennifer had a commitment to be here at 8 o'clock when we started. Now, somebody asked me, who else walked in and said, do we start it? He walked in at 8:56, 7:56, and he's going like, everybody's already sitting, we're already going. He's going like, I thought we started at 8. I'm like, guys, pros don't show up 3 minutes before the fucking game starts. Right? Well, because you look like a player. Okay? I mean, God gave you, how tall are you, bro? 6'4". God gave you an incredible vessel. He gave you you got a Lamborghini, bro. That's what God gave you. You got a Lamborghini presence. Okay? Which means for you, there's huge responsibility. Every room you fucking walk into, people go like, oh shit. Somebody just walked in the room. That's a huge fucking responsibility. Right? You got that same presence, Jennifer. Look at you. You have this presence about you. I own a $2 million house down here. I own millions of dollars of real estate across the country. If I had a listing appointment and we were planning to meet at 8 o'clock and you walked in at 8:06, we would not meet. Why? Because when you give your word, when you tell somebody, I'll see you at 8 o'clock, you just gave them what? A commitment. You gave them your word. Yes Masters live by a code. For those of you that know Yes Masters code, what is code number 2? Go ahead and say it, bro. Come on. Keep your commitments. Say it louder.
Keep your commitment.
Everybody, the code number 2 of Yes Masters is keep your commitments. Type it in the chat right now. Keep your commitments. Everybody say it out loud on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Keep your commitments.
Keep your commitments. So when you show up late on a commitment, you just told them, somebody that's never met you before, you're like, my word is worth shit. Do you feel this?
I feel it. I have my reasons, but I feel it.
Right? Good. So hold up the camera. You got to talk up here so they can hear it, because you're talking to the Zoom people on that.
Awesome.
So she said, say it again what you said.
I have my reasons, but I understand, yes.
Okay, so she has her reasons. All right? Thank you, Jennifer. You can give the mic back to Mike. And Mike,
Thank you.
holds the mic. Here's the truth. Nobody gives a fuck about your reasons. No, just listen, because this is for her, this is for everybody else. Nobody gives a fuck. All I know is you gave me your word, you're going to be here, you weren't here. Now I'm not getting on you right now. This is a coaching moment. You guys understand what we're doing is training. Okay? But guys, here's what I will promise you. This will be worth tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars for those of you that are common realtors. There's real time, and then there's realtor time. And I remember the first time I said that when I moved out here as a new team leader at Keller Williams Beach Cities, the broker, she got all pissed off because she was a big active member of the Association of Realtors, and she goes like, I just think realtors stand for a higher standard. I'm like, well, why don't they fucking stand for it? I get the code of ethics. It's just bullshit. Not the code, but the requirement to follow the fucking code. Nobody gives a shit about your reasons. They only give a shit about your word. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? You see, we do not get paid for our intentions. We get paid for our results. That's all we get paid for. Jennifer, thank you. You can have a seat. I'm not getting on her. I'm not mad at her. But if you get this, you'll never be fucking late to an appointment ever again. I tell you guys, when this happened to me for the first time, Roy and Lou Thomas. Now, Roy was a multimillionaire. Roy was, I got him by prospecting him for sell by owner. His daughter, Diane. And Diane was an unmotivated sell by owner. And it was a lot. Like, who the fuck wants to list a lot? And especially with an unmotivated for sell by owner. She goes like, we're not motivated. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, who do you know? And she goes like, well, my mom and dad actually have their ranch for sale out by Weatherford, Texas. They got their ranch for sale, but the ranch broker that's had it for a year hadn't done shit, and they're not happy, so why don't you call them? So I call them, they go like, well, come on out. So I come out, it's a 6,000 square foot like mansion out here on a like, I don't know, several hundred acre ranch with a 17 acre private lake and all kinds of cool shit. I walk in the house, it was the biggest living room I'd ever seen in my life at the time. I mean, like, I'd never seen a living room this big, and just like, I just felt like I walked into a castle. And you remember, this is a guy, I grew up in a mobile home. I grew up out in the country on 43 acres. We had no private lakes. We didn't have shit. Okay, I grew up, his living room was probably as big as my mobile home that I grew up in. So I walk into this, I'm like, whoa. So that was my first $1 million listing, first $1 million sale. And that one relationship with Roy and Lou Thomas became my first $100,000 client. Now this was with a guy that had an average sales price of under $150,000 in my business. So $100,000 client, meaning all between their commissions from them and the referrals and business I got from them was over $100,000 over a 5-year period. That's a lot of money. Okay, that was like a huge piece of my business. But after that first set of transactions we did, we sold that house, helped him buy another house, and helped a brother buy a house. He invited me out to the Colonial Country Club in Fort Worth, Texas. The Colonial Country Club's like elite. This is where all the rich old money in Fort Worth, Texas lives. So he invites me to lunch. I'm late. So I have to text him as I'm driving because I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna be late. And I text him a message, and immediately the phone rings. He calls me. He's like, what's going on? I'm like, and I apologize. I got my reasons. He's like, well, I'm probably not gonna be here. Like, why? He says, because I got my reasons too. I got commitments. I came to meet you for lunch. You said you're gonna be here. You're not here. I don't work with people who don't keep their word. And I'm like, okay, this guy's just made me over $50,000 in the first 6 months of knowing him. Maybe probably closer to $70,000. And this is a guy, remember, my average sales price was, my average commission, gross commission was $4,500 a transaction at this time. And he's like, I probably won't be here. And long story short, he stayed, and he set me down, and he goes like, and so all of a sudden he became my mentor. And he's like, this is what happens. People listen to your words. And when you don't keep your commitments, people don't trust you. And I mean, he gave me this, the whole thing I gave you just now, and it was like, shit. Okay, I will never, ever, ever be late again. And guess what? I never have been. Okay, Jennifer needs something to say. Can we throw her a catch box? Just toss it to her. Stand up, Jennifer. We're going to give it, toss it to her. All right.
I will say this. I appreciate that. That's something that I needed to hear.
Jennifer, come up here. I want you to come up on stage here, because you don't have good lighting in your face. It's right there's camera. You're talking to them, and it's nice to meet you, by the way. I'm Kevin.
Jennifer.
Glad you are here.
So I do appreciate that, Kevin. It's something that I've needed to hear. And I'll just leave it at that.
So tell us what's coming up for you right now. Tell us what emotions, like single word feelings, what's coming up right now.
Well, part of me wants to say, to be fair, I didn't say this to you directly that I would be here at 8 a.m. But another part of me knows that there's a pattern in my life of not being on time. And that's something that I've been wanting to break for a long time. So,
Ready to break it?
I'm ready to break it.
I think you just did. So let's give it up for her yet. Okay, so because we got virtual people and all this, it's all kind of weird. So we don't do happy clappy shit here. Yes Masters do booms. Okay, so Yes Masters do a 1, 2, 3, boom. Now I'm not going to be able to do it with volume because I'm going to have vocal cord surgery in less than 2 weeks. We'll talk about that later. But we're going to, and you guys that have your booms printed out, I love that. So we're going to do Yes Masters 1, 2, 3, boom. If you have your boom, you can put it in the camera like that. If you don't, we're going to do 2 hands in the air with a Fierro moment, and it will be Yes Masters 1, 2, 3, boom. Let's do it. We're going to practice it one time, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to give Jennifer the biggest fucking boom she's ever had in her life. So Yes Masters 1, 2, 3. Okay, what's your name? Galina. Hi, Galina. It's so good to meet you. This is not how we do this, okay? So this was Galina's boom. Did you sleep good last night? Yes. Good, okay, because she looked like she was about to fall asleep. So here's Galina, and she's like, Yes Masters 1, 2, 3, and she's like, she didn't even get her elbows off the fucking table. So if you had just found out that you just got a $17 million listing with a double ending at cash close deal for 6% commissions, would you go like, I did it? Boom. Show us what you would do if you just found out you have a $300,000 commission that would be closing in 10 days. Yes, there we go. So this is how we do booms, okay? So now all together. Now I saw her, I'm gonna be watching you guys out there too. We'll do this all fucking day if you can't get it right. And if it pisses you off, you're like, I didn't come here for this. Right, and that's why you're fucking losing in your life. You're like, well, when do we get to strategy? Fuck strategy until you learn how to show up like a champion. Nobody's gonna follow you. Okay? And if you don't like this and you think, well, this is not what I came for, then we still have the full 100% money back policy. Email support@yesmasters.com, get your ass off my meeting, and go out there and keep playing the way you've been playing. But you want to win championships, you want to change your life, you want to change your future, you want to change your family's life for generations, you play. Yes, I see you, Julie. I love it. I love it. I love the way you guys are showing up. Okay, so now, everybody ready? This is just practice. So we're still just practicing, okay? Yes, Masters, 1, 2, 3. Woo! Good, 1, 2, one more time, 1, 2, 3. Woo! Beautiful. So now, Jennifer, Yes, Masters, 1, 2, 3. Boom! There, she did it, even she did it. So, don't leave. I'm proud of you. Thank you so much. You may have more to say in a minute, but you can go have a seat. Thank you so much. All right, so now.